Welcome back, everyone. Well, the weather is sure cooperating, so our hearts and our minds are heading to the outdoor. And when you head to the outdoor around here, you head to the Adirondacks. So joining me today is a good friend of mine, Linda Smith from the Adirondack Mountain Club. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Jesse, for having me here today.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Now, the reason Linda is with us is that there's an event coming up on May 31st at the Highland Country Club out in Queensbury, which happens to be a very beautiful place, by the way, as a fundraiser for the Adirondack Mountain Club. Now, before we start talking about the event, many people don't know that this club has been in existence for 93 years and is a lot more than just a hiking club.
Absolutely. There's a perception out there that the Adirondack Mountain Club is just a hiking club, just for hikers only, but we do a heck of a lot more than hiking. And about a year ago, we started a kind of a motto which is called ADK Cares, and it pretty much captures everything that we do. It's conservation, advocacy, recreation, education, and stewardship. So everything we do kind of focuses on one of those things, and they all kind of crisscross as well.
Well, they all crisscross, of course, because they all are for the betterment and the protection of the peaks of the mountains.
That's right. That's right. We basically, our mission is to protect the public lands and waters. The public lands and waters
of the Adirondacks.
Yes, of the Adirondacks.
Yeah, sure. I think what a noble mission, by the way, huh?
Yeah, it's exciting.
All right, so we've got an annual fundraiser coming up, the biggest event of the year for you, and the event that you count on most for raising money to make certain that all of these programs that we're talking about can continue.
Absolutely. It's our largest annual fundraiser, and it's our Black Fly Affair, Hikers Ball.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
You would think that if you're trying to entice an audience, you wouldn't use the word black fly.
Oh, it's probably one of the biggest challenges for those ADK members, so they kind of like the challenge, and so they come to this event.
Well, I think it also shows a sense of humor, which is great.
Yeah.
The black fly situation, by the way, is what's the phrase? Mother's Day to Father's Day. And I think they just hatched, too, by the way.
Right, they're out a little late this year.
Yeah, well, considering the winter, I guess so.
Yeah.
So let's get to the event. A fundraiser, a lot of festivity, a lot of fun. There's dinner, there's dancing.
Right. Yep. And this year we chose the track to the track, the theme track to the track. So everything's kind of racing related. We've got Andy Pratt, who's going to be our DJ and our MC for the evening. Right. Yes, he is. And he happens to also be a horse collar and an auctioneer. So he's going to keep us on track throughout the evening and do it all. So we're going to be running some Dicey wooden horse races. Which
just hold a second. Dicey, first it's the Black Fly fundraiser, now it's the Dicey Horse what?
Dicey wooden horse races.
Okay, so what is a Dicey wooden horse race?
Well, those of us who have ever been on a cruise are probably familiar with it. But what you do is when you purchase a horse and you decorate that horse, which is when the horse is in training throughout the week. And then at the end of the week, you have a horse race and they roll dice and your horse moves forward according to the rolls of the dice.
Oh, and by the way, for our viewers, we have said horse right here.
Yes.
Correct? So you have a bunch of these.
We do.
And you get to decorate them and do everything that you were just talking about.
Right, and guess what themes they're decorated within?
Oh,
conservation, advocacy, recreation, education, and stewardship. And then we have one long shot as a member of the group, too.
That's great. And you mentioned Andy Pratt, great disc jockey, and he's going to be calling this race as well?
Yes. He's been perfecting his horse calling voice, and it's actually quite good. So he just did some radio for us, and he's unbelievable. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's great. Now, also, these fundraisers they're not complete unless you have really good auctions. And you've got a silent auction, correct?
Right. That usually, like typical of every fundraiser, that's pretty much the largest component. And we have a great silent auction and live auction. And what's unique about our auction is that you can go on our site right now, adk.org, to our event, and you can preview the auction items in advance. You can't purchase yet, you can't bid, but you can preview to see what's out there. And we add items daily. So it's a lot of fun because it saves you a lot of time. When you're going to an event, you want to be dancing, you want to be, kind of prepping your hat for the fabulous hat contest and things like that. So you already kind of know what you're going to zero in on in the auction.
Well, you know what? Your reputation precedes you. When you go to put on an event, Linda, you always put it on a great event. So this is just another one, so you can put on your lucky hat or whatever.
Oh, yes, as we track to the track. But what's really cool is I also brought you a hat today.
Oh.
Yes, this is your Kentucky Derby bowler hat.
People will pay big money to see me in this hat.
There you go. Yay, there you go.
People are not old enough to remember Laurel and Hardy, but just in case you can. Well, Linda, again, let's go over the specifics. Saturday, May 31st at the Highland Park Country Club, the annual fundraiser for the Adirondack Mountain Club. And I think probably the best news of all is, if all of this news was enough, it's $50.
Yes.
Where are you going to go to a fundraiser for $50, especially when the cause is this important?
Exactly. It's the best bet of the season. And it's not a sit-down dinner, which I think is another cool thing about our event. There's so much to do. We don't want you to just sit down and listen. We want you to keep on hopping around and have fun, participate in some horse races and dance and just have a good time.
And the hat contest. And I think it goes without saying, tuxedos are optional, but hiking boots?
Mandatory.
Mandatory. Yeah. I don't know, this sounds like an awful good time to me. Do you have an invitation for me?
I do.
You do.
Of course I do. So we expect you to be there
and I
with
shall.
your hiking boots
and
your hat. But you can wear a different hat.
The hat, we may opt out on the hat. I'm not exactly sure. This is great. And thank you for coming on to tell us about it. Sure. See this interview again? You can head to our website, looktvonline.com. Well, still to come, we take a look at your closing numbers from Wall Street. Plus, how is the Memorial Day forecast shaping up? A look at your full forecast with meteorologist Brian Whitley is ahead.